Welcome, friends and family. This is Abe, the Big Dickerson, here to talk to you about everything fishy, aquarium, tank, food, you name it. If it's got to do with a fish, I can help you. Today, this little tutorial, um, probably a little bit of a bigger tutorial. It's a long process, but it is an easy process. It's about how to breed betta fish. I have several tanks set up here, and to show you how easy it is to do this while time consuming is I'm doing it right on the dresser. I got books, I got tanks, I got trash on the ground, I got a window AC unit, but guess what? I'm breeding bettas. I've been successful. I've had baby bettas and I've sold them. Start off, supplies. First of all, for filtration, through the whole process, you're going to need just a few things. You're going to need a cheap little filter. This one came in my first aquarium starter kit. My little green spotted puffer there. He's a vicious guy. Imagine it not. Anyways, cheap filter for later on. You don't need any filter right now. It's just the start of the process, and any too much water surface movement is going to disrupt the process big time. But you're going to need a sponge filter for later. This is a homemade one. This is how easy it is. I made it from a dish sponge, brand new, clean. Don't use a dirty one. You'll get infections in your fish. Anyways, real easy to make. I cut it out of a sponge. I cut a hole in the center. When it soaks up water, it gets a lot more flexible, and I slip it on right here, just so the little fry don't get sucked up. That works. All right. Next, to mention it, towels. This is a wet process. The more towels you have handy, the better. Unless you got a grow room or a laminate floor. I got carpet. I don't like stepping in puddles, so you know what? I keep towels handy. Filtration too. This is going to be your first filtration for your breeding tank. Not your fry tank, your breeding tank. Because it's a delicate process and you have a delicate nest, you're going to need an air stone and you're going to need a check valve. This check valve allows you to lower the air current through the airline tube to a trickle. Gets you just a few, maybe 2 or 3 strands of bubbles rise into the surface continuously, not a full-blown cascade of bubbles. You want just a little, enough to move the water surface, not too much that'll disturb the nest nor the processes within it. You don't want any eggs falling loose. You don't want any fries dying. You want the father's job to be easy as possible while he's in the tank. That's all you need for filtration, and an air pump. My air pump's underneath my desk, so that's how that's going to work. Next, for general equipment, you're going to need a cup. Don't use a net. I use this little clear cup. Fits in all my tanks real easy. It's the size of my hand. Dip it in. Scoop the fish out. Real gentle. Not stressful on the fish. Or as little as it can be. And I can keep the fish in the actual cup until I need to place them back in the tank. Real easy. Your net's a hassle. It stresses out the fish. It can damage their fins. It's got a number of problems. Scissors come in handy, and long tweezers. I got these on Amazon. Got a set of like 8 of them, all different sizes, shapes, methods of closing, you name it. I got like $10 for like a set of 10. They're stainless steel. You're not going to get any heavy metals in your water. And the benefit of these is when you dip them in the water, it does not disturb the surface unless you shove your big, like me, I got big grubby hands. You shove my hand in there, disturbs everything, scares the fish. You'll be okay with tweezers. Chemicals. You're going to need a test kit. Test kit's important. You can use these test strips, but guess what? If I know anything about breeding bettas, is there some money grubbing, wallet leeching little guys, and these are expensive. Now, just one little tank of them, you go through all 25 of these in here, and it cost me $17. Guess what? This thing on Amazon has over 800 tests, so it says online, and it was like $21.99. It was like $5 more. I had, how many times the use out of it. Go on Amazon, you fill up these little vials, 5 milliliter vials, fill it up to the meniscus, add the specified amount of drops, pH, add 3 drops. Can't see that. There you go. Tells you on every bottle, real easy. Fill it up 5 milliliters, to the meniscus, add the drops, wait for the color change, give it a good minute, and compare it to the chart that comes with it. Alright, simple water conditioner. You don't need a Betta one. They're all the same. They remove chlorine, chloramine. You'll be good. I find it better to get the concentrated ones because they're cheaper and they have a dropper, especially with these small breeding tanks. I'm not a big old 20-gallon like that. It's a pretty small tank, so I can use a dropper instead. Melifix is super handy. If you want to breed your female more than once, you need Melifix. If you're not a heartless bastard and you want your fish to stay alive, you need Melifix. The females really easily can die through this process. While they can take a beating, they do this in nature after all. Melifix helps them heal their fins after the process because the male are going to beat them to shreds, beat the living shit out of them. And for emergencies, I like the Prime. It's a conditioner, removes the chlorine, chloramine, so you can use it instead of this, but I like it because it detoxifies ammonia, nitrates, and nitrates. Or nitrites and nitrates, and it's also got aloe vera in it. So I can use this in emergencies. If I check my levels with my handy dandy test kit, they're too high, detoxify it real quick. And your last chemical you're going to need, hardly a chemical, it's salt. This API fresh water gram salt. I do half the suggested amount, which is a tablespoon per 5 gallons. So I use I pretty much just use a quarter teaspoon per gallon is what it works out to be. Quarter teaspoon. This is going to help your fry stay healthy. They're not going to fungus, they're not going to get bacterial infections, and it's not going to go rampant throughout the tank. My method uses 3 to 4 inches of water. Right here I have exactly 4 inches of water. I found that to be good. It gives them some extra space to do their thing, and it has more water in it, which means less changes, which means less disturbing the nest. I have a beautiful Acme Ducat here. Watch him flare up, but he's not flaring up. He's very healthy, but he's gorgeous, and I love his tail colors. Anyways, he's doing his thing. I'll show him that. Food, Hikari First Bites, I do not suggest. It's what I have on hand right now. I will be starting infusoria culture before I actually have fry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an infusoria, which I suggest. Look up an easy video. Just put a thing of lettuce in a jar of water. Have some aeration holes on the top. Wait a week. Wait for the green to go away. For the majority, you got infusoria. I'm going to mix it half and half with this, so I can wean them off the infusoria. I don't like having cultures going because they smell, they're dirty, they look ugly, and they take up space. So I like to wean them off onto the First Bites. They're not going to like them, first of all, because Bettas are really particular, and they're not going to like anything that's not wiggling around. Once they start to grow some, you need flake food. If you use pelletized Betta food or granules, the damn things are too small for them to eat them. The damn fry are too small. These are too big. They can't fit their mouths around them. So start with flakes, crush them up just a little bit, put them in the tank, and when they're full-blown adults, I use Betta pellets. I don't particularly know why this is different than just a typical fish granule, but I did my research and they suggest to use the Betta food versus the typical food. Not a huge difference, just a little thing. If you're an aquarist, you have one of these. This is your turkey baster, which is actually a fish baster, or a tank baster, whatever you want to call it. It's devoted to your tank. Get one if you don't have one. They're like $5 at the store, or you can get a cheap one at dollar store. I don't know if they have them there, but you use this to pick up fry real gentle. You squeeze it, you dip it, you suck them up, and you move them if you need to. Get one of those. If you don't have one, you'll have it tons of uses if you get into the hobby. By the way, if this video gets you into the hobby, I really hope you'll let me know, because that'll make me happy. I found this hobby a couple months ago, and I love it. It's a money stealing thing, but it gives me a lot of pleasure. All right, now for tank setup. Right here, I got a cheap plastic storage container, clear. I like it clear. You don't have to have it clear, but it's good that way. That way I get a lot of natural lighting and keep lots of light on it. I like to keep them on overnight, every other night. Once the fry are around, you have to keep the light on so he can keep track of them. Now, for your female, I'll either use an opaque plastic cup or a clear plastic cup. Depends on the time of day, what I'm doing, how they're feeling. Because I want the male to focus on building the nest quickly, as soon as he can, and as strong as he can, I put her in the opaque cup. She's down there. Her belly's full, her vertical stripes are developing. She's doing her thing. Don't keep them in there too long. If they're not showing interest in each other, put her back in a big tank, because it's not good for them to be cramped. Your nest is going to be built under a styrofoam cup or a bubble wrap. Right now I have both in there. I'm letting him choose which one he likes best. Whatever one he builds the most bubbles under, I'm going to take out the other one. I'm going to let them make the other one home. You know, I like them to be as comfortable as I can. Being in this teeny little thing when they're used to swamps is not necessarily comfortable for them. So I give them the small things. Ceramic biomedia. You see that in the bottom. That's good stuff to have. I always have one running in my filter up here on my big tank. That way, when I set up a new tank, I can plop them in. They're already cycled, and they help the new environment develop quicker. I got a marine ball and an acris stem back there. Helps with oxygen exchange. It can dirty the tank some. Not 100% necessary, but definitely helpful. And a heater. This one's preset 78 degrees. I'll be moving in once the nest is full, I'll be moving in gently one that's preset to 80 degrees. That way, that helps the breeding process and gets them a little bit more horny. Now, when I move her out of this opaque cup and I move her into the plastic see-through cup, he really gets his love juice going. He flares at her, and at least twice a day for as long as I can go without him bullying her too bad. I take her out of the cup completely, let them do their thing, and I put her back in the cup. This process shouldn't take long, but a week, you already got eggs, and by a couple days you got fry. You want your, as I didn't mention it, but obviously you want your male in this tank at all times. You can remove the female if he's not too interested, but he's definitely interested in her. Let's just show you. Gorgeous placard. Half moon placard. Look at that tail color. That's unique. She's a crown tail, by the way. Alright guys, so you see how he's interested in her, he's chasing her around, he's flaring up. She's flaring up some too, which is good. I mean, she's healthy and she's interested. And obviously there's no nest yet because I put them in today. This is day one. I'm going to keep you guys updated. I'm posting this video now. This is day one. Do it yourself. Betta making. You want to make a betta, make a baby. You got the time to take care of it. You got the equipment to take care of it. I showed you what you need. You're going to need a fry tank to move them from, or to remove your male from. I suggest moving your male and your female to 2 separate tanks and let the fry develop in here. Again, you're going to need infusoria, a microworm, a vinegar eel, decapsulated brine shrimp, eggs. You need something to feed and something that's moving. Hikari first bites, if you're going to use it, you need to wean them onto it. That's all, guys. Hope you enjoy this video. If you do, let me know. See, he's bullying her. Anyways, that's all I got. It's normal. So, thanks, guys.